Hey, what's going on, everyone? It has been quite some time since we've done a general overview video of kind of our setup here, right? Everything that we do for flight simming and even streaming. I kind of want to give an update also on the ButtKicker Gamer 2. Lots of questions recently around, does that hardware still work? Is the wiring still good? Still, outputting the bass that, you're accustomed to and all that good stuff. And I definitely want to show you guys that it is still 100% functioning. No issues whatsoever going on. Gosh, 3 years now since I've had it. Absolutely phenomenal tool, but we'll get to the ButtKicker in a second. Again, I'm going to give you a generic overview of kind of our setup. I think even when we did our last overview of our flight sim setup, we weren't even streaming. I might have been recording, but we weren't even streaming yet. So I definitely want to show you some of the streaming tools as well. So without further ado, we'll start with the flight sim hardware itself, and then we'll make our way over to the ButtKicker Gamer 2 and then some of the other peripherals around here. Again, nothing fancy, nothing too crazy, just making use or making do with the space that I have. Still got my Aerosoft flight sim chair, very comfortable. Still holding its own, especially for long flights or long streams. It's definitely a really nice, comfortable chair. No issues with that. We'll start on the left and then make our way right. How about that? So, Holtis Warthog. This is new. Last time we did a video, I didn't have this. I had the Logitech X56. So we've got the Thrustmaster Holtis Warthog. Solid piece of equipment, man. I know lots of folks have been talking about it, recommending it, and you really just don't know until you get your hands on this thing. It is just pure solid metal and really brings some immersion to the flight deck. Continuing, let's see, we'll continue on this side here. Asus 19-inch monitor. I think I had that before when I showed you guys. Nothing's changed on that front. Still got the same old rig. Nothing fancy, not custom built or anything like that, although we've done some upgrades here in the last year or so by adding more RAM and all that good stuff. But still a 1080 Ti, 8700K. All the details around the rig itself is in the description, so you can check it out there. We'll continue left. Logitech headsets. I can't remember the model number, but I'm sure we'll link it. Nothing too fancy. Wireless headsets, they're great. The mic kind of sucks, especially for live streaming and content creation. So we only use it for output, if you will. Speaking of mics, that's why we've got our HyperX Cloud. Lots of questions around this one as well. Really cool. I think there is another model of this that actually changes colors, but we've got the initial model that's been out about 1.5 years now, if not longer. Off for mute, on for not muted. You've got your dials up here to control, obviously, your volume. And then we've also, within FSLABS, do some tweaking to noise cancellation and pop filters and some of that other stuff that you content creators are likely familiar with. We'll continue left here. I just got a little base that kind of holds my cell phone or the iPad during streams. Basic keyboard with a backlighting. I think I got it off Amazon, 20 bucks. My favorite so far, newly added to the family here, the honeycomb yoke, the elusive honeycomb yoke with the launch of Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. You all know how hard this thing is to find, and not only just find, but find at a reasonable price. So we were able to get our hands on this. Very happy with it. We'll continue on the right side here. We've got the multi-panel, Scitec multi-panel, also new to the family here. Brand spanking new, actually. I came in a couple days ago. Very well made, for Scitec and something that's, gosh, I don't know, over 10 years old. Still relevant today. Makes changing the altitude, as you can see here, and the vertical speed, the indicated airspeed, and the heading, some of those things a little bit easier, especially when you're the only one here in the flight deck, man, and you've kind of got to multitask. Continuing here, again, I don't think we were streaming when I had the initial video. So here's what I'm using for camera, from a camera standpoint. It is a 10vis 1080 HD wide angle lens camera. So whenever I'm streaming, as you guys can see it as well, it really picks up the entire background, if you will. So pretty cool. That was another cheap camera as well. Nothing as expensive as the Logitech or any of those other things, but it's it gets the job done. Moving down here to the throttles, we've got the still Logitech X56 throttle. Again, I don't use the yoke anymore, but we still have the throttle. Radio panel. I think I had this one when we were actually doing the initial overview of the setup. Scitec radio panel for the win. If you fly on VATSIM, Pilot Edge, again, you're a one-man crew out there. Very hard to kind of look down, fly the airplane, change radio frequencies and whatnot, especially when it's really busy. So definitely, recommend it. If I look at all the panels and whatnot that we have here, I think this is the most useful one, at least for me. The mounted dog bed, that is Mrs. First Officer. She usually lies here when we fly and stuff, and got her toys. Continue on the peripheral. So this is a Dell 17-inch monitor, nothing fancy. In fact, it was free. Work was actually getting rid of some of the hardware and asked if anyone wanted a bunch of monitors, so we took one. So that was cool. Good pickup there. And then the big shebang, my 4K 50-inch Samsung HD. Somebody was telling me, hey man, that thing looks really, really thin to be a TV. I assure you, it is actually a TV. Really, really well-built TV. I mean, at the end of the day, it's Samsung. So 4K, you definitely take a hit though, performance-wise, in some of these Sims. When you think about P3D, Xplane, and even Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So it's definitely a trade-off. As you can see here, we're airborne. We're about 50 frames per second, 48, 45, 50. It's hovering there, here, and there, but depends on the weather, depends on what you're flying, like anything else, but you definitely see a hit whenever you're running 4K, but I think most of you know that. So I think that is it. Oh no, we got one more. MFG crosswinds. I think this was in the initial video. Nothing's changed on that. I've mounted them now to kind of give us a little bit of a better foot position, if you will. Ghetto mount, but it works nevertheless, and they're pretty solid there. I didn't want to really drill into the floor or anything like that, so that works. And I think that's it as far as kind of the hardware and the peripherals. I've got this here, the old Logitech. That's more for our tiller, for those aircrafts that have a separate tiller mapping. That's what we've got there. So that's the general overview. Again, I kind of rushed through that, but again, you guys were asking, so I did wanted to tell. Now for kind of the main update here. Again, the ButtKicker Gamer 2. Yes, she is still here. No issues whatsoever. This is the actual base of the ButtKicker software. It's got some of the wiring tied up here just to keep it out of the way, but there's plenty of installation videos and all that stuff out there. I'm not going to get into that. And it's really straightforward. Obviously, you've got your input, output, and that goes straight to the computer and whatnot. But just kind of a general usage overview. 2.5 years going strong, no issues. Definitely make sure to keep it clean, especially if you're going to keep it on the floor like this. Get you an air duster, air blaster, really for everything that you've got from an electronic standpoint. I definitely regularly air dust or air blast. Here's the remote for it. You can turn it on. You can increase the intensity, decrease the intensity. You've also got the ability to do it down there, but obviously the remote is a little bit more accessible, especially from where I'm sitting whenever I'm flying. So that is pretty good. We'll do a quick kind of demo as well. I know we did one with the FSLABS. We're here in the Zebo. I kind of just threw a flight up in the air. We're not going anywhere, actually. It's just sitting there airborne. So we'll see if we can't get that working and kind of showcase what that looks like. This is also new. My Asus printer really only works with FSLABS right now in P3D. No one else has kind of given you the ability to print out Asus information, load sheets, performance numbers and all that good stuff like FSLABS. I can't wait till they come to FS 2020, man, but that's a story for another day. So I still got this here. And that is pretty much it. I think what we'll do now is actually do a quick test of the ButtKicker here with the Zibo, kind of show you what the intensity looks like when we, my favorite is deploying the speed brakes. We'll drop the gear. Obviously, we're not in gear configuration, so don't mind that. That's not real world flying, but we'll do it nevertheless. I've kind of got a little glass here full of water, like we did last time. It's the only way I can really think about capturing what the vibrations look like, right, from this tool, because unless you're here sitting down in this chair, you're really not going to feel it. Speaking of the chair, the actual ButtKicker, the vibrations come from here. This this tool here, that's the other part of the ButtKicker. Apologies, my hand's in the way here. I get strapped to the chair. Just a quick knob here that you can strap on there. It fits to most standard office or gamer chairs. I haven't had an issue mounting it to any other chair really. It's expandable, so no issues there. It really fits most of the any width of office or gamer chairs that you have. Obviously all the details is within the guide and whatnot to actually get the actual spec, but for the most part most folks don't have an issue getting it mounted. But that's kind of where all the vibrations come from there, right? I forgot the proper terminology for it, but that's actually where it goes. So let's see if we can't unpause this Zibo and see what we can get here. So it's on right now, and it's just flying, right? I think we've got some turbulence as well. XP Realistic, for those that are in Xplane and don't have XP Realistic, definitely a good pickup as well, because it'll actually help bring out some of the capabilities that this ButtKicker has. So we're in the air now. I'm going to get the vibrations turned up just a bit there, the intensity. And what we'll do is we'll deploy the spoilers. And as I deploy the spoilers, again, just like the last video, you'll kind of see the vibrations there from the water. So I have my spoiler axis mapped here. So we'll deploy that. And as you can see, as I deploy it, right, you see the water and the vibrations actually moving there. So it's pretty cool. Again, it's not turned all the way up, because if you were sitting in the chair, you would really feel it. We'll put the phone down as well. See if we can't capture some of that. Here, how about, let's turn it up. Let's do that. So you'll probably hear it now. Again, I don't generally have it this high. Really no need to have it this high when you're sitting in the chair, but for the purposes of kind of demoing what it looks like. So again, that's the spoiler axis that we have mapped there. We'll kind of, as we stole the spoilers, you'll see the vibrations kind of calm down. Again, we do have turbulence as well, so it does pick up some of the turbulence and the rattling. Again, especially if you have XP Realistic Pro. So I don't know if you can hear that, but that's turbulence, and that's the engine. So again, we'll extend the spoilers. I think you can hear it as well. Really well done. Really well done. There's additional software as well. I can't remember the name. I know a bunch of you threw it in the comment section of the original video. There is this software out there that you can use to kind of help fine tune it even more as it relates to flight sim, but I think, you know, generically out of the box, it's just fine. Depends on what you're looking for, right? We'll actually slow down too. So let me show you what that looks like. It'll be better if you guys can hear it, but you can't really hear it. So we'll go to indicated airspeed. Let's slow down here. So that's the actual Zibo spooling down the engines there, and very subtle and light vibrations. You can feel that as well. So it's hard to capture just from this glass of water, but I promise you, if you were sitting in this chair, you definitely feel all of it. So we'll speed it up again here. Show you guys what that looks like. And that looks good. We can do another test with the flaps. Again, we're not in flaps down configuration or in configuration for flaps down at all. I'm sorry, gear down, but we'll do it anyway. So let's drop the gear. Now you see that? So that's the gear actually coming down, and you feel that. Now imagine you're flying, man, and you're on final, and you drop that gear, and you actually feel the rumble there, you know, of the aircraft and the airframe stress from the gear being deployed. It really adds a level of immersion to your overall flight simming. So pretty cool. We'll get the gear back up before we stall the aircraft. Again, as the gear comes up, that's the vibrations there. Look, you'll see how it's died down. Again, really nice addition. I don't think it's something that you have to have, and that's the aircraft kind of getting back to speed. I don't think it's something that you have to have by any means. So again, like I said in the initial video, if you're looking for an additional level of immersion to your flight sim game, man, I think the ButtKicker is a must-have from that regard. Other than that, that's it, man. I think that's going to do it for us. Again, we'll kind of link some of the additional details around, you know, some of this other stuff and some of the hardware and the peripherals we talked about today. Again, like the other video, feel free to reach out if you got any questions, comments. Definitely want to hear what you think about it. There's other pieces of hardware out there as well that kind of adds to the overall level of immersion for flight simming. I want to know about it, man. So two-way street. Definitely let us know. Other than that, man, I hope you guys are all well, staying safe out there. COVID has certainly put a strain on a lot of different things, but I think aviation for sure. So my fellow pilots, my fellow aviation enthusiasts, you guys stay safe out there, keep the blue side up, and we'll see you another time. Micslmn's out.